Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mario.
And I'm Bridget.
And together we are
In the Upper Story. We're here to share stories and shenanigans and would love to interact with some of you.
So if you like our program and want to learn more about us, please hit that subscribe button and alarm button. That will notify you next time we have a new video out. So, Bridge,
Yes.
speaking about new videos, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about our family mission
Ooh,
statement.
so corporate of us. Is this like an IBM mission statement?
No, I was
Apple
thinking
computers?
more 007 mission.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
Going
like General
deep.
Electric.
No, we're going deep into the
Old-timey
missions.
refrigerator
This
services.
is going to be something that's amazing that nobody's ever seen, nobody ever will see.
Family mission
no,
statement.
that's not the point.
Well, let us explain to our family and friends watching us what a family mission statement is.
Cool.
Okay, stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. And no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us once again.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about this corporate mission statement. Is this a corporate mission statement that we're talking about?
This is our family mission statement. It's something that's very, very personal.
Very
to us.
different. So it's not an IBM, it's not an Apple, it's not a corporate focused mission statement. This is a family mission statement.
Yes.
What is that?
What is that, Mario?
Something to think about, something to ponder. Well, my interpretation of what a family mission statement is who we are, how we function as a family, right? It's essentially our words, our being into words and forming sentences that reflect our core values, that reflect who we are as a family, and that gives us some sort of direction, right? So I think of it as not that different from a corporate mission statement. Corporations use it to figure out what their core values are, make sure they're following those values. But I think it's probably more impactful for a family.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right, Mario. So since you're on a roll, I will ask
What is
you-
pi to the 20th?
He actually knows that.
Oh, I'll tell
No,
you next time.
That's another story. So why are we doing this?
Why are we focusing on building, or maybe we already built a mission statement? Well, I think we already have a mission in our own lives. We function with missions already inertly. We have that inside of us, in our hearts and our minds. And we've always had one. I think we had one without knowing we had one. But the idea of putting it to paper and the exercise of going through that, I think was important for us to have something visual as an aid for us to be reminded of who we are. And I think it's a living document, right? These are living words that can evolve over time.
Absolutely.
But ultimately, what we have today is so strong. That's a great guide to give us for the next, good time.
Yeah, and I think the important thing too is, we all have our own mission statements in life, but being able to come together and create something that is equal parts, individual, to come together as a family and see ourselves as one unit is.
We are a family of two.
We are.
So for those who don't know, Bridget's my beautiful wife.
And Mario is my beautiful husband.
Ooh, how beautiful of us.
Yes.
And our family of two, we live by our code. We have our own method of doing things and our own language, if you will. And that language that we create based on love, based on these core values, which we'll talk about in a minute, I think is true to every family. Every family has their own version of this. And so today we're just going to share about how we got to a mission statement, the process, who introduced that to us. And then we'll actually share our mission statement for everybody to see it as an example. And, we will encourage everyone to build their own. And we'll give you links and information how to get to the ability to create your own mission statement.
Yeah, so let's kick this thing
Yeah,
off.
let's kick it.
Yeah, first of all, we want to give a huge shout out to Melina
Shout
Kane.
Melina.
MelinaKaneCoaching.com. She is an amazing life coach, and she was the one who kind of introduced this this family mission statement idea to us in this way. She kind
I had
of
never heard of it.
Right.
This was the first time I've heard of anything like this, which was really intriguing.
Yeah, really cool idea. She uses, this guide, if you will, to help clients bring alignment to their families and to really come together and figure out
Now,
what's
is
important.
this
to them.
guy? Do you have to give him a tip at the end? Does this guy drive you around through the forest?
This Uber guide that has a white robe and no.
Different kind of guide.
Yeah.
This is a document with very specific and poignant questions that open your mind to how you function.
Yep. So, how did we go about creating our mission statement?
Ooh. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think the idea of a mission statement was inert to us. We just didn't have a name for it. But regardless, there was a process that we needed to go through. And so these series of questions, this document that was presented to us, again, by Melina, and she had formed these documents. And so we use these questions as guides for us. And, we went through this process. Bridget was brilliant about this, by the way, because she mentioned it to me initially, as always, very brilliant. And I think if she had pushed it along, I probably would have pulled back and said, I don't really have time for this, or maybe I have other things to do. But she kind of snuck it in like medicine.
Well, yeah. And I think that the timing really was very important.
Good timing for
It
us.
was.
So we started this process while on vacation visiting mom and dad up in Montana, Bridget's parents.
Yep.
And that was a great time. We had some time to focus one-on-one with each other. And the questions were thoughtful. So we really needed to be in the right mind space to be able to give honest answers and collaborate, work together in building something that we already knew. We had these answers inside of us. It's like digging for gold. The gold's there. You're just pulling away all the noise to get there.
Yeah. So some of the questions that were asked were things such as, what is important to our marriage and family?
Yep. Well, what is important to our marriage and family?
Oh, gosh.
Paige?
Well, it would start with what we like to call soft pants days.
Ooh, soft pants. What are soft pants days?
Soft pants are the most comfortable sweats or PJs that you can possibly find. And the idea is to move as little as possible.
Lazy
watch
days,
as many movies
Netflix
as
and
possible.
chill.
Lots of popcorn, snuggles.
Stretchy pants.
Yeah.
Those are good. One-on-one time is super important. I think there's a lot of noise, a lot of activities, work, life. Everybody's running around doing something, especially coming out of the pandemic now. Everyone's busy. And so having a lot of one-on-one time is super important to us.
Yeah. And then gratitude.
Yep.
Being silly.
Being silly. Gratitude's important. I think we a lot of us lose focus on the importance of gratitude to really ground us in appreciation for life. And you have full of gratitude, there's nothing that is sour. Life is sweet in every bite, and every morsel. So, but ultimately, being silly, the two of us, I think that's a big one for us. Kid energy is, I think, one of our biggest assets.
Yeah.
So that's a very good question. So that kind of set the groundwork for evolving this mission statement. Now we started in Helena, but we moved on to several weeks later. We let it breathe. Moved to Oakland, and we came back home, and at a coffee shop where we had another available mind space to do this in the right mindset, we went on to additional questions. Do you want to give any additional questions?
Sure. Another question was, what other marriages do we respect and why?
Oh, that's a good one. So who are some of the people that we respect and why in terms of marriage as examples, prototypes?
Well, aside from the Richie Riches in the world, who we know as the Joneses. No, we
Mr. and Mrs. Jones.
Right. We look to our parents. We look to our siblings. We look to our friends.
Our godparents. Lots of examples in our life of really good how to do it, right? They could write a handbook on how to have a happy, successful marriage. We're surrounded by it. We're so lucky to have these people around us, these buffer, and we've seen them our lives.
Yeah.
Right? All of our lives we've seen and enjoyed these people. So we've been able to cherry pick the best parts of everybody, and not everybody's perfect, so we look at maybe some
not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, some areas where we could avoid as pitfalls. We've tried our best, and we're doing it so far.
Yeah.
So knock on wood. But yeah, it was definitely a good example. What else is it about us that we're known for?
Well, I guess, one of my favorite questions was if others were to talk about our marriage,
Excuse me.
what would we want to be known for?
Oh, excuse me.
And I mean, obviously being
hello.
a sexy ass couple.
Sexy ass couple
Yeah.
with sexy asses. Oh, wait a minute. This is PG.
Okay.
We're talking about donkeys and mules.
Right. No, that makes no sense.
Obviously
Don't bring
being
donkeys and
funny
mules into
together.
this
We don't want to be
marriage.
censored. We don't want to be censored on YouTube.
Yeah.
But just ultimately being highly attracted to each other
Yeah.
in so many ways: physical, emotional, spiritual. We just have all these ways that we love each other in so many facets.
And
so
always
we're
having
lucky.
each other's back. I like that back.
Yeah,
I do.
I like this back too. So that was another example of a great question. So we took this back home again several weeks. We gave it a lot of weeks to rest and breathe like a good wine, and we finalized this at home in the upper story here upstairs, and we worked on it, and we came up with these questions, answered questions that were really kind of poignant to each question, but we needed to form a mission statement. So we boiled these concepts, these answers down into general motifs, if you will. And these motifs were extracted into sentences that made sense to us that eventually made it as a mission statement. It was a really interesting process how we went from answering questions to get into the mission statement.
Yeah, and again, Melina does a beautiful job with guiding you through this entire process. So she takes the hard work out of it. Your work is to focus on your family and the content. She will provide the guidelines for it.
Oh, Melina, what can't you do?
Yeah.
All right. So, Bridge, should we share with everyone what our mission statement is?
I think that would be a great idea. Mario,
Would you like for me to do the honor of reading this off to
how
everyone?
did you know?
For memorization? Like pi? To the
Backwards.
20th? No? Okay. Inside joke. Okay. Let's share with you all what our family mission statement is. We are driven by deep core values based on physical, emotional, experiential, spiritual, and relational marriage. We examine our heritage, ancestors, and self-awareness of how our actions affect our relationship. Having learned what is truly important during our separate journeys as single people has allowed us to combine and embody our core values together, which make our marriage stronger. Keeping our family core sacred creates a joint sense of connection and sanctuary, knowing our united family is impenetrable. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Our common outlook and desires in life connect us in a deeper way than we could have ever imagined. Active presence together creates a deeper devotion. Joy, laughter, and play encourage us to champion each other through good times and bad. We are united in financial goals, and we lead by example with the intention of creating a legacy of service our way, the way we do it, especially to our younger generations, seeing us as examples by which to create their own templates. We put our faith in God above anyone else, that to which we cannot carry alone as simple human beings.
Hooray!
That's our mission statement. It's a mouthful. You can always play back and go in slow-mo and listen to it. Or you can get the notes from us if you message us. So we were so excited to share with you today's video about our mission statement, our family mission statement, not our corporate mission statement. We'll share those soon. So anyway, that wraps up another episode of In the Upper Story.
We'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
And remember to subscribe if you haven't already.
We'll see you next time on
In the Upper Story. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself.